A yellow card will be referred to as a warning, while a second yellow card will be deemed a suspension. A red card will be designated as an ejection, and any player or coach who receives a red card will also be prohibited from participating in their team's next game. A player receiving a card for on-field misconduct will be required to sit out for 3 minutes of elapsed playing time. No substitute will be allowed during the 3 minutes. Any player who receives a red card for on-field misconduct will be ejected from the game, and her team may not substitute anyone in her place for 3 minutes of elapsed playing time. When play is restarted in these situations where a card has been administered, no player on the penalized team is to be moved 4 meters behind. Umpire procedural change. There will be a change in how umpires will handle and penalize offsetting fouls versus subsequent fouls. Offsetting fouls are considered to be fouls that are occurring or have been ongoing within the same time frame. For example, one umpire calls a block while the other calls a charge on the same play. Or after a player has been awarded a free position because someone fouled her, she is discovered to be wearing jewelry. Or her teammate is found without a mouthguard. Or a flag has been raised because of a defensive foul and then the attack charges on her way to goal. A subsequent foul is one that occurs after the initial foul has been called. For example, a player is awarded a free position because of a foul by her opponent, but then before play starts, this player with the ball commits a foul, such as taunting the opponent. Additional information and examples will be available in the front of the 2009 U.S. Lacrosse Rulebook, as well as in the Umpire's Manual. Now let's move to the points of emphasis for this season. Dangerous checks and slashing. Dangerous checks, those that are uncontrolled, rough, or reckless, are major fouls that must be called by the officials. Officials must carefully evaluate each situation, deciding if the foul warrants an immediate whistle or if a held whistle is appropriate. A card may also be given for a dangerous check. Slashing, or the swinging of the cross at an opponent's body or cross, with deliberate viciousness or recklessness, must not only be called, but a mandatory card must be given. Whether the cross hits the opponent's body or cross has no bearing on the call being made and a card being given. This example is a hard, legal check from behind. The player in red is playing good legal defense, forcing her opponent to turn and change direction. As the player in white turns away, she hangs her stick, allowing the player in red to execute a legal back check. While the swing is big, her body and footwork are under control, her timing is appropriate, and no foul has occurred. One player chasing another with her stick upraised and held in one hand should always draw the attention of the officials. In this clip, thankfully the player in white chose not to swing, and therefore no foul occurred. However, in this situation, the player in red approaches with a high stick controlled with only one hand. While no stick-to-body or body-to-body contact occurred, this is clearly a case where the player was not in control of her stick and swung wildly while attempting to make a check. This is a major foul for slashing, and a mandatory card must be given. In this clip, we see an example where the player in red checks towards the face, entering the 7-inch sphere around the head. This play was administered correctly as a major foul for a dangerous check. Had the player in white maintained possession of the ball and continued on a scoring play, the official would have been correct to raise his flag and allow play to continue. Many times, the goalie will come outside her goal circle with the ball. The rules against dangerous checks apply here as well, despite the fact that the goalie is wearing protective equipment. The big swing towards the goalie in this instance must be penalized as a major foul, and here an immediate whistle would be appropriate. Our next two examples will illustrate when it is acceptable to hold whistle on fouls for bad checks. The player in red has beaten the